Today we're taking a look at the rumored details of Magic Kingdom's Beyond Big Thunder project to see what we think about what could be coming to Disney's massive expansion. The original video I'm using here is from Mickey Views, and if you're watching this video and somehow haven't watched his videos, please go check him out. For my money, he's the best Disney YouTuber out there as far as parks development and details and updates. He's just on a different level from anyone else in the game. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. So without further ado, let's take a look.
Hey everyone, Braden here, coming to you with a Mickey Views special report where it is my distinct honor and pleasure to break some rumors for you guys today pertaining to Beyond Big Thunder Mountain at Walt Disney World. First off, the biggest rumor I have for you guys. As you recall, years ago, we reported that Disney wanted to do away with Frontierland at the Magic Kingdom and make part of it into the Bayou, but Big Thunder Mountain can't be rethemed into the Bayou. It has nothing to do with New Orleans, which means if Disney were to do away with Frontierland, Big Thunder Mountain would need to be part of a new land. It needs its own new land. At the most recent D23 event, we got no update on that Beyond Big Thunder area because it was up in the air. The IPs that were supposed to go there had moved over to the other project going on over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Well, according to our sources, it is not up in the air anymore, as it is my belief that Radiator Springs Racers, based on Disney Pixar's Cars franchise, is planned to be built beyond Big Thunder Mountain as part of the desert-themed land coming to the Magic Kingdom.
I think this is a great solution to keep Big Thunder Mountain as is without having it feel like it's shoehorned somewhere it doesn't belong. Then we add on to the desert theme a copy of Radiator Springs Racers to reinforce the desert theme. Now I know there will be people who are upset that it's a copy of a ride that already exists and that it's a similar ride system to Test Track, which we already have here in Florida. But if there is any ride from California that we might want to see copied into Florida, this is the one. This was probably my single favorite ride when I got to visit Disneyland and California's Adventure. And sure, it is the same ride system as Test Track, but it's a completely different feeling ride due to the immersive storytelling aspect. So for Walt Disney World regulars who don't know when or if they'll ever make it out to California, this is a spectacular addition. It's an incredible ride with that true Disney feeling to it that'll be another e-ticket attraction to help deal with the ever-increasing Magic Kingdom crowds.
So next up, also in the rumored desert-themed land, do you guys remember way back in the day when they first announced Toy Story Land for Disney's Hollywood Studios? It had this Western Woody-themed area. It had this street facade with a saloon and all that stuff. Well, I recalled that the other day after I heard from one of our sources that they are allegedly considering adding a Woody-themed Toy Story attraction to this area, to this desert area.
It is an interesting idea to have a separate Toy Story representation in Magic Kingdom when we already have Space Ranger Spin, but honestly it would fit perfect with the desert theme, and Toy Story brings that classic Disney feeling that fits squarely in Magic Kingdom. Plus, having a third aspect to the desert themed land would make it feel much more rounded out instead of just feeling like something that was added on at the last minute to justify Big Thunder's survival.
That brings us to our next rumor, looking at the sheer size of Radiator Springs Racers alone. Not to mention, we're about to get into the villain's land here. I have heard that it is a strong possibility that the Rivers of America is going to be shortened and it might be outright filled in. And that has led me to believe that the Fort Langhorne portion, that half of Tom Sawyer Island, is almost assuredly gone if this Beyond Big Thunder project actually happens. My concern is if Disney fills in the northern end of the Rivers of America, the waterways in the Magic Kingdom, they can be managed underground. However, that above ground waterway that goes from Rivers all the way out to the Seven Seas Lagoon, that is what enables the Liberty Bell to pass through and receive maintenance. So if they shorten or do away with the Rivers of America and feed water to the area from underground, that'll mean that the Liberty Bell is at an extreme risk of being decommissioned.
Tom Sawyer Island is just not something that's really bringing people into the parks. It's more like a little nice bonus for families that have kids to discover and have some fun in for a while. It's a nice spot where the kids can explore and run around, burn that energy, while getting the rest of the family out of the middle of the chaos of the rest of Magic Kingdom. But like I said, no one is weighing vacation options and thinking, no, we have to go to Magic Kingdom because it has Tom Sawyer Island. And the same can really be said for the Liberty Bell as well. It's not bringing people in, it's just a nice addition. And actually, I think if it does become a static feature that stays there on the river's edge, it could make for a really cool meet and greet location where you could get pictures with characters overlooking that whole area of the park from a really cool and unique vantage point. Regardless, these attractions will be missed for sure, but if we have to lose Tom Sawyer Island and the Liberty Bell ride around the rivers of America in the name of a big, giant, awesome expansion, then
it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Next up over at Villains, as of right now, I do not know the properties that are being considered for this area besides the Haunted Mansion themed restaurant to be built behind the Haunted Mansion as part of the Villains area, which I previously broke to you guys. And I have heard that that project is now canceled. And hopefully they revive it because that sounded actually like a pretty cool idea. The Villains area is going to be pretty massive. And at a minimum, we have heard that it'll include one e-ticket attraction and one D-ticket attraction. I'm surprised I haven't heard even a peep, a credible rumor of any kind from our sources on which intellectual properties will be used. But I will say those ride counts that I gave you guys are not strictly a guess, so those do give me hope that we are looking at a pretty serious investment back here for a Villains themed area.
So first off, I'm incredibly bummed to hear that the Haunted Mansion restaurant is probably canceled. The Haunted Mansion's my all-time favorite attraction, so I think that could have been such a fun experience. But I can take some solace knowing that a Haunted Mansion bar is still coming to Disney's new cruise ship. But with all that being said, if we get a Villains Land with a D-ticket and an E-ticket attraction, I'd be willing to trade pretty much anything for that, so this news is still a net positive for me.
Looping around to the Bayou, reports indicate that the Shootin' Arcade is next up in the imminent demise department, and I'd like to let you guys know that I've heard that the new Country Bear Musical Jamboree will open to the general public this August.
The Frontierland Shootin' Arcade is something I'll be sad to see go. I have some really nostalgic memories of that, but again, it's not bringing people into the park, so it's understandable if it gets taken away. I know some people are upset that Disney would even dare to change the Country Bear Jamboree, but I am firmly in the camp of people super excited for this update, so that opening date sounds great to me.
The Walt Disney World Railroad has been down for ages now. It feels like we just got it back. If you've thought about everything I've told you so far, if Disney ends up doing this Beyond Big Thunder project and it ends up being anything close to the scale that I'm telling you guys about, the projects that I'm telling you guys about, it will interfere with the Walt Disney World Railroad. That whole construction area is going to be interfacing with a staging area for employees outside the park limits. These new constructions themselves are going to exceed the path of the railroad. It looks like there's going to be construction happening right where the railroad currently runs. So this doesn't mean that the railroad is finished by any means. I don't think the railroad is going anywhere, but it likely means that the Walt Disney World Railroad is going to be down for many more years to come.
Now this is another necessary evil, unfortunately. It's always good to have the railroad up and running. It's an essential part of the feeling of Magic Kingdom and has a huge connection back to Walt. But if it goes down for years in the name of expansion, especially a huge expansion on this scale instead of just a single attraction expansion like Tron, and I think it's definitely worth the wait.
It looked like this time last year that thanks to the lack of investment, the de-theming of Frontierland that had been on the list of things that they wanted to do, that had been shelved and Frontierland had been saved. Now with the money flowing again by the sounds of it and all this reportedly in the works, it looks like Frontierland might not be long for this world.
It will be truly wild if a day comes where Frontierland is no longer a part of the Magic Kingdom. It's a huge part of Magic Kingdom's history, and up to this point, it's a defining feature of the park. However, that doesn't mean it shouldn't be up for change. I am all for progress, and yes, of course, I will miss classic Frontierland, but I will be ready to love and explore and embrace these new additions with all the excitement in the world when they arrive. So that's it for today. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you like these videos about Disney updates. Any and all support means the world to me, and please go support Mickey Views as well. He's the best of the best. Thanks for watching.